Lauren. Hello, my name is Lauren, and my speech is over French food compared to American food. This past summer, I went to Paris, France for the first time. It was a great experience, and I had been told that the food there was going to be very different from what I am accustomed to. However, I was still shocked about how the difference was. I was kind of worried about how the food was going to taste there because I was concerned that I wouldn't like it. I was there for 10 days and was hoping I would find at least one thing I liked. To my surprise, as I began to eat their food, I fell in love with it. As you could probably imagine, French food was completely different from American food. Since I was scared to try it, I started light with my first food I tried. I ate a turkey sandwich and cheese. The cheese was very different from American cheese that I usually get from Subway, and the bread was very hard. While I was eating the sandwich, it felt like I had to work to eat my food. As the trip went on, we tried unique foods every night. We ate things such as duck, salad with potatoes, and fish and chips, and many more meals. This contrasts largely to American food because in France we did not eat any processed food. Everything was real, and I began to compare it to artificial food they feed us back home. I even noticed that when I got back to America, I felt sick eating from any fast food restaurants. I had difficulty eating all my food when I ordered a meal at places like Sonic or McDonald's. In France, we learned that the French take time to eat their food. People here like to say, we Americans gobble down our food quickly, while they like to slowly eat and savor the taste. I am also guilty of this, so it was a big change to eat my food at a slower pace. They put this theory into effect at school for their students. In my school, we only get 22 minutes to eat. French students allow their students an entire 2 hours for lunch. As I was in France, the difference began between their eating habits and ours continued to amaze me. French take great pride in their food they prepare. The chef himself travels to local markets to buy homegrown ingredients of their own liking. This would not be possible in the U.S. People in France are very petite. This results for their small eating serving size, which differs from our large serving size. Maybe this is why obesity is such a large rate here. Our proportions are too big. We eat a large breakfast, lunch, and dinner, not to mention how much we snack in between. We, as Americans, eat whenever we want as much as we want. I'll even admit that if I'm bored, you might find me in the kitchen searching through the cabinets trying to find a quick snack. Snacking in France is not encouraged to anyone. Meals in France are carefully organized to meet the requirements of a healthy meal. They use something like our food pyramid. Unlike most Americans, though, they actually follow their guidelines. Each meal has vegetables, fruits, and dairies. They minimize their sugars to small pastry dishes like crepes. I'll have to admit, these are my favorite dishes to taste in France. In America, we try to reinvent some of the foods prepared in France. Now that I have actually tasted real French food, the models cannot compare. Maybe it has something to do with the atmosphere. But French food are unlike anything I've ever tasted. Oh, I almost forgot. I even tasted escargot. As you may know, it has snails. Most people here classify France by a place of romance and the famous eating of snails. I had trouble stomaching the thought of actually eating one, but once I got over my queasiness, I tried one. They are actually kind of tasty. So my trip to France was very beneficial. I learned how different two cultures can be, even if it's only consuming their food. I hope I'll be able to make another trip to France in my life so I can experience their great food. Thank you, and au revoir.